go. Charles and me about to take you on guitar safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down. One volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me, we're about to take you on guitar safari. Turn on your computer and turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down. One volume, one tone.
Well, hello there, people. Seth, you're sitting in the wrong chair again. Jeez.
Oh, shoot. I need to move over. There we go. I'm over my body. There it is. Over my body again. What's up, Charles? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fine. I'm good. We're getting into the summertime now. It's getting hot. It's getting hot.
We have had a week of thunderstorm after thunderstorm after thunderstorm. Some of the people in my area have had bad hail. I mean, right in my own town, and
they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
What the hell is going on?
What the hell?
Fortunately, the area where I am, we don't usually tend to get the hail.
You don't get a lot of hail.
Storms all week, but I tell you, it's been playing hell with my arthritis, and so I did not start my day well, but I am doing well now.
With with hand arthritis in particular, because you're typey.
No, my knees. I have damage from when I was in the military. And my knees.
Oh boy, a lot of that. Too much hiking and moving and jumping.
Yeah, all that stuff. But it is Friday night.
It's Friday night.
Guitar Safari.
Guitar Safari. Looking for guitars.
Is it time? That is really the question for this episode. Is it the time now to go out and start safaring for gear? And it doesn't have to be new gear. It can be used, right? Matter of fact, my preferred market.
Used gear for sure. Yeah, used gear for sure.
And but with all the talk of tariffs and everything else and prices and
is it the time to buy? Well, I'm thinking Guitar Safari means mainly local. I mean, unless you're online safari.
Local, you're looking. But are you guys ready to go out there and start searching for gear, or are you happy with what you have? Or you just want to see what's out there?
We're getting close.
I have no real idea what's going on in the market out there, Seth, because I just haven't been looking.
Yeah, I haven't really been looking,
but
much
I didn't itch.
either.
I got an itch earlier in the day. I says, I got some time. I should go by the pawn shop where I get my guitars and see.
Ooh, a pawn shop journey, huh?
And I'm making a commitment to myself that tomorrow I am going by and I'm going to see what they have. Because they
okay, all right. You made a tomorrow commitment. I get it. All right, that's good. That's good enough. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see who we've got in here, and
let's see who joined us. It'll be a slow roll because summertime. People are traveling and doing things, playing out. It's later. They're out at restaurants enjoying their lives.
People go out and enjoy their lives in summer for sure.
But we're glad that you came here to hang out.
He said he just bought a new pedal board frame and a bag of peanuts.
Ooh, nice. So now you can eat some peanuts. That'll give you some energy to build your pedal board and get it going.
Something that, that Charles has his eye out for is a pedal board. And we did have someone that gave us in the chat a couple weeks ago a channel that does a pedal board build, or you could build your own. And so I'm thinking about that as well. Just got wheels turning here.
Yeah, build your own pedal board.
Yeah. We got brother Zach Thong. And
what up, Zach?
With us. We got Randy Crooks, who's starting his Friday journey with us. And
nice. What up, Randy?
Rather fine music later on.
Randy's looking at his a twin. Well, not really a twin, but another guitar that was just like his that
Mhm.
he used to have behind me.
There you go. And I've been looking at some of the videos and the shots of Randy's guitar, so I can make sure I get the layout of the fabric about as close as I can to it.
The
And
same way, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly the same. Well, that's
Yeah.
great. You got the video to go back to. I mean, shoot, that helps.
yeah, so that's gonna
Certainly helps.
make that easy. The only thing we're gonna really have to look at is, do we want to go with a traditional Telecaster headstock, or do we want to make it like a Stratocaster headstock like the other one was?
Ooh.
So a little thought for Randy there.
Hmm.
We got Time Surfing Alien saying, hey, hey.
Hey now. What about, because it is a thing to design your own headstock shape.
Mhm.
You got to go through some ups and downs. You might go through some downs before you find one that you really like.
Designs can be downright unpopular.
What's that? Yeah, some decisions can be, you may regret some decisions in that process. I think I ended up with a couple of good designs that I'm okay with.
I think you did.
That's all I want.
I think
I did
there were some
a while
really
to get there.
in here, though.
I did like that Eagle Claw one. I still have the Eagle Claw one, and it's gonna get built, and I'm sending it to Ryan.
Oh boy,
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got brother Wayne McConnell saying, "Hey, dudes."
What up, Wayne? Remember when I said I wasn't drinking?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well.
Oh, you lied. Okay.
Then it's really hot out. And then who doesn't like
gummy worms? How about that?
Who doesn't like gummy worms?
We got brother Ken Hit Metalworks here saying it's a beautiful day on the island. And cheers.
What up, Ken? Yep.
We got Dastardly Dave saying sup all.
What up, Dave?
Love it when Dastardly Dave comes in like that. Let's see. We got Cushman NYC with the wise up.
What's up, good? What's going on, dog? Yeah, someone said gummies, Ben. Yeah, I know. I'm drinking your kind of, like if you did a little 1 milligram for every sip I take, right? We'd be.
But we've got this Sunday's guest on Chatting with Charles, Greasy Monkey Guitars.
What up, Greasy Monkey Guitars? That's cool. We get to hear your story and have it cataloged.
There you go. And you get to put another face with the name in the chat. Oh, by the way, Greasy Monkey Guitars, if you could email me a picture of your face. So
if you could send him all of your credit card information.
That'd be great.
Your banking, your social security number, a copy of your passport, your driver's license. We need any thorough documentation of all of your car loans, if you have any, your home loan, if it's not completely paid off. If it is paid off, we'd like a copy of the title. And that's all. That's all that you need to go on Chatting with Charles. Just a couple of things. You thought it was hard to get a real ID. You try to go on Chatting with Charles. Whew. It is not easy. He wants to make sure that you're who you say you are, damn it. Because nowadays you need to prove that shit.
Sometimes you just can't trust people.
I got a letter said that they're going to deport me to Vermont.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
But Fairfax, Vermont, kind of the same. One is colder in the winter, but they're kind of the same. They're all a bunch of hippies.
There you go. Well, we got Big Wave Dave saying hello to the chat.
What up? Wait, hold on. Yep. So a long time ago, I went surfing. Hadn't been surfing in a long time. And right when I went, I ripped my tendon in my arm muscle. So I haven't been back. But now I'm thinking I want to go back surfing. Probably going to injure myself again. Whatever. But I feel like I want to go back in the water.
Sometimes you need to have the little reminders.
Well, I know, but I just feel like that was a fluke, and all the doctors were like, "That's kind of a fluke. Happens to people when they open their arms too quickly, whatever." Yeah.
Well, it's worth it if you enjoy it. It's worth it, right?
Yeah, I might go out with a different board, not try to. Yeah, not try to. I think problem is that when you surf for a long time, for many, many, many years, you get it in your head, and you know it in your head like riding a bike. That's why people fall off of bikes, because they know it in their head, like, oh, I know how to ride a bike still, and then they get on a bike and their body doesn't quite react the way that it used to, and their the reaction to
the body doesn't. Is that what you're saying?
they're like, oh no, my brain thought I could do this. Oh, wham, and then you're into a concrete wall. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've all seen it on the internet.
With that, I'm gonna get back on topic a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
We did some guitar surfing last week, and
oh, nice.
He's come up, the proud owner of a Sire Larry Carlton T7 Telly shape. All guitar manufacturers take a page from Sire's book, he says.
They're doing a great job. Yeah, they make a super quality instrument. They're like, they could be compared to like the high-end $1,500 Epiphones. I think their quality level, you know, and they're like $600 or $700. You can get them for probably 4 or 5 used, you know, maybe even less than 5 if depending on your deal that you negotiate.
Yeah. Well, we got Brother William De Silva in the chat saying sup, duders. And remember, we said hello to Dan. We said hello to Kush, so you knew that Dan Gorman was going to be here. Hello there, Dan. Hope you're doing well.
What is up, Dan? Gorman, Maine.
And greetings and salutations from Brother Ben Coombs.
Brother Ben, he knows how to twist them, twiddle them, twist them, twiddle them, twiddle them, twiddle them. Get that tone, do that thing, do that other pedal. Click, click, clicky, click, 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 do, 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 boop, boop. Sorry. Oops.
And we got everyone's favorite guitar
that was fun.
Creator, Bo, Guitar Man 45 in the chat.
What up, Bo? What's up, Bo?
And Michael Krause says Phil is going long, but he's got his priorities right. Well, we appreciate that, Michael Krause.
Oh, nice, Michael. Oh, you know, Phil doesn't go long that often, so it must be important. There must be something happening over there, so that's cool. I mean, should we? All right, show's over. Charles. We're going to Phil.
Go to Phil's and just watching.
Hold on. Let me open another window so I can stream him. Are they going to hear it in my ear? I won't do that. That was
only one way to find out. Well, we got Glenn Michael Thompson in the chat saying hello to both of us and all the folks in the chat.
I like how we ended up being a role for what is now a Friday evening, later evening guitar thing, that now it's kind of like we almost sparked a flame that said, why not do it for the rest of the night? Because it used to be kind of Phil was the cutoff. And then again, there was, I think, Under the Bus or somebody was at 7 or something, but it was a pretty big gap.
All right. We got Eddie Fay in the chat, and he said they're back. Yeah, we did 3 weeks of shows in a row. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I had to miss last week, but it was for a really good reason.
That was a really awesome reason. Why you tell them about that?
I should have somehow shared maybe I could open up a second window and bring it in somehow and show that video, which might be fun, right?
Yeah, when you cue that up, maybe we can hit that up a little later.
Yeah, I was supporting a special needs student that I've worked with all year and got him playing, got him off of the tambourine, damn it, and the egg shaker, playing the guitar and really doing it. And like I, tuned him to open chord, so it's just he can't play minor chords, but he's just playing the majors, and it works out. It really works. And so he played his first concert in front in the theater in front of like 200 people, something like that, 250. It was super fun, dude.
Nice. Well, that is just a great thing to do, to be able to support one of your students that way. And there's not a fellow in this chat that's going to say no to that.
Right. I got to play bass too and kind of hold it down. So we had these 2 really good high school kids, and there's a few of them out there. They're both seniors, unfortunately. They're both freaking graduating, but they're so comfortable in their skin that they don't mind participating with somebody who might not look as normal. And so one kid played guitar and sang, the other kid played drums. Another teacher runs the music played synthesizer because he kind of knows the most about music, and I was able to say, hey, in this chord I want you to do a arpeggio from high to low and then open up and hold all the notes. He understands all that at like that. So he played synth, and then so me on bass, drummer, him on synth, and then Jamie, my boy, on guitar. It was so fun. We played Arcade Fire Wake Up, which is a very 3-chord anthem song.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brian from Searching for Tone with us. Hello there.
What up? Oh, dude, did you hear what happened on Searching for Tone, dude? Last night? I think it was last night. It was so that's second time now. I won something. I guess I only have luck when it comes to hanging out with Brian. Brian, if I ever get divorced, you and I are going to have to go out to the bar, because apparently I got a lot of luck when I'm hanging around with you.
Oh,
all right,
my
buddy. I'm just kidding. It's not going to happen. I'm even wearing my ring. I love my lady. Plus, I'm all jacked up now. I'd have to go to play bingo or something and say, "Ooh, how's that warm milk you're drinking, honey?" Yeah.
Well, coming back to the theme of the show a little bit, Zach Thong says that he only has 4 pedals that are not on his board, and the rest of his pedals are on his electric pedal board. I don't really buy too much gear nowadays, but it's nowadays it's more about playing, right?
I love that. It is more about playing now, about writing some riffs. Write some riffs and some. I've been doing this, Charles. When I write a riff now, it's not just one riff. I make sure that I take that riff and I write a secondary riff, because I grew up on the bottom end of the fretboard. I didn't grow up playing triads. And triplets up here. I didn't play a whole lot of the ukulele chords. You know what I mean? I grew up with heavier power chord, lower end. And so now I've been enjoying studying and getting more versed into the other end of the neck, the triads and the triplets, and then the 4-note chords up the neck, all that stuff. So I'll try to write a riff the way I normally do, and then do a counterpart to that riff, not really a melody, not a single note melody, but another riff using the other using triads and the other side of the neck, like a So the mandolin chords is what Eddie says. Yes. Well, the mandolin is the way the tuning works. It's a little different, right? Because there's no step in it, like there is with the G string or the B string. Sorry, there's no step on a mandolin.
Okay,
I think.
Well, we get
it's very linear.
We have Earl and Randy and
this beer is
and
good.
Michael Thompson all talking about having sires with them in the chat there.
Oh yeah, sires are good. Freaking! I remember when they hit and they became popular. We were setting up a lot and plecking them, because a lot of people, a guitar like that, you buy it for $800 and you plec it and have it set up by a pro, and you've got, like $2,000 in value or more.
Well, we got Steve Brand stopping by saying, "Evening, gents. A quick hello before he finishes getting ready for tonight's Guitar Talk Universe," which follows us right after here. And so when we say goodbye at 8 Central, they're saying hello.
That's perfect. That's a perfect handoff.
Head on over to Charles.
What is this Central Time that you speak of? Is that like something that they have, like where the elves live?
Central Time is the best.
Mordor?
Central Time is just the best time.
It's Mordor time is what it
is.
is.
Earl Colai says that Sweetwater dropped its prices on the Sire guitar line. Good time to score 1 or 2. So if you are looking for a Sire and at a discounted rate, Earl says go on over to Sweetwater and check it out.
Yep. So I believe we are going to see a shutdown of 50 to 100 guitar companies in 2025. They're going to disappear. Okay. That's just what I forecast. I forecast that because if tariffs and worldwide confusion continue for long enough, it doesn't take that long. A lot of these companies are skating on a thin enough margin, or even still in the brand building stage where they're kind of going backwards as they're getting their first units out. They're not going to be able to maintain. They're just going to go away. And you're going to see all these. There's first going to be an initial flood of very inexpensive guitars. They're going to be like, giving them away for $75.
It can be maybe really interesting to see what's out there and what isn't. Who stocked up before the tariffs hit,
right?
And
yes, there are warehouses
who thought ahead on that, and who said let's wait and see. But we do know that prices are probably going to rise, right? And so, to me, the place to look is going to be in the used market.
I just think that they're going to go out of business, and for a minute, as they are going under, they're going to be liquidating and getting. So even though eventually it'll get more scarce as more go out of business, but in theory, it really won't, because they're all coming from a general source of factories, right? So they're coming. So those factories could produce for bigger manufacturers better guitars and spend more time doing it, and still almost the same amount of guitars get out. It's just not 100 different small companies.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be back to kind of the roots. But that's just a thought that I kind of had of what I see happening in the brand new guitar market, because there's so much out there and they're so inexpensive. And they're good. They're good guitars for inexpensive. They're not hand done, and there haven't been a lot of the details haven't been done. But for what they are, for what we grew up with or what we had early on, they're a hell of a lot more than my first piece of.
I want to welcome in a few fellas that have been jumped in while we've been talking. We've got Steve Reeser, who's made his way in. We got
what up, Stever?
And we got everyone's favorite music in law, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall, y'all.
Well, with your bionic knee.
Stever like a beaver.
For sure.
Meow. Oh, yep, sorry.
And Ben says to Ryan, I'm having a great day, so you don't have to, Ryan Hall.
Yeah, some people my wife was having a terrible day, Charles, because her website was all jacked up.
Oh boy.
She clicked on some kind of freaking update or whatever it is that ran through, and then all the pictures look jacked and all the drop downs don't, book a nanny now. Click. Well, how are you going to book it now when nothing happens when you click on the drop down?
Yeah, that's
what I mean. Not good. And so she's like telling the people, and the people sound like, you know what it sounded like, Charles? It sounded like I was on the other end of the line. Oh, really? Huh.
Yep.
Whoa, I don't know what the hell. It's like they could have got somebody better than what the service I would provide. Anyway, it seemed frustrating for her, and I felt bad that she had to experience that. I tried to help.
It is just a horrible thing to go through. It is just a horrible thing to go through. Want to welcome in Sean Hockey. He says, hello, men. Great to catch the safari. Well, it is great to have Sean here.
Yo, Sean.
Great guest on Chatting with Charles last week. And, apparently the show was a big hit with the other members of his band.
Nice. Now, didn't Sean move to Germany or something?
No,
or is that a different person?
You are thinking of Josh.
Okay. Josh Tanberg.
Right, Josh Tanberg
moved,
but
he didn't.
Hockey is out there in Ohio. He
plays 7 strings though. He plays a lot of strings.
The full R7 string.
Yeah.
His band.
I love that.
Is Thursday at 5, and so apparently the interview was not only a hit with our crowd, but also with the rest of the band.
Cool
comments on the video, so on the replay. So really appreciate that.
I've been entertaining the thought of building a 7-string now and then, not for me, but for somebody else that like wants that in their life, like that low heavy tuning, like, to enjoy it and have a Presley out there that's a 7-string, but I just haven't done it. I've also been thinking about doing a headless that would probably be for me initially to use a lot, because
We got brother Blue Mox in the chat saying hello.
What up, Blue? Oh, I finally fit that titanium nut, Charles.
There you go.
On this guitar, the titanium nut, because the way that the truss rod was coming through the neck,
Yeah.
if you sit the nut down far enough as you want to, I wanted to seat it into the neck so it's not sitting up on top, like teetering,
Right.
like seating it down in and making a channel. It wanted to hit the truss rod in the middle.
Yeah.
So I had to take a Dremel and some
And
time and
kind of make
patience
a panel.
and make a little rainbow channel for it to, but now that thing is in there. It's perfect. It's a cool material. It gives it a little bit of, with it coming off of the titanium and then down here onto these saddles, it's a little bit different. It's a brighter tone. It's a little bit bright.
Okay.
A pingy, kind of pingy, I guess, would be. And you could probably offset that with different strings. I would think coated strings would have a little bit less of a bright tone. These are like Ernie Ball slinkies, which I don't use a lot, but they're kind of
what you had
a bright. Yeah, I had a new set of them, so I was like, I'll use these. They're a bright, good tone.
Well, that'll be an interesting experiment. Try different strings on it and see how much different it is.
Yeah, well, before it goes out to the store to hang on the wall, or before it gets, when it's done, and I'm like, okay, now the setup's done, everything's kind of perfect, or as good as it wants to be, I'm going to be hands off, or it's going to go into the case, then it gets coated strings.
Okay.
The setup strings come off it, and it gets coated strings because, it might be 6 months before it sells, right? And I want the person that buys it to have, and I don't always want to change them the day before they go out. You know what I mean?
There you go. That makes a lot of sense. Well, we got Herbert Bees here, and Herbert Bees, if you don't know, is one of my other brothers.
What?
And yeah, he's the one younger after me. So it's Ed, then me, then Herb, and then John.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like, it seems like there's a lot of fighting for food at the table. That's a lot of brothers. Jeez, Louise.
You didn't eat.
Damn, and you guys are all kind of like, none of you are small guys, right? You guys were all, I mean, yeah. Whew.
Eddie Fay points out, well, Seth, Americans are not the only guitar playing customers. The rest of the world can still buy those guitars, and that's true. That's for sure.
Well, I get that, Eddie. I'm just saying that I think that the companies are the number of companies is gonna reduce. That's all I'm saying.
It may be some contraction in that market for sure.
Yeah.
We got River Doc saying, hey, Charles, Seth, and everyone else, just drop by for a few. We'll appreciate you, Doc. Hope you're doing well.
Yep. I wish I could do international shipping and it was affordable, because then I could send guitars all around the world, but it costs a lot of money. It costs almost as much, it costs a few $100s to get your guitar. So that's on top of the whole thing. But maybe I should just offer it and just charge it. Let people that want it pay the shipping.
This is an exciting piece of news. Check this out. Zach Thong has been working on getting set up, and hopefully one of these days he's going to jump on the OU812 Sunday show and jam with the guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
See, that'd be killer.
They'd love to have you on now, just as you are.
Or you got those killer, if you have that sound system to jump in and you have those killer acoustics, jump in, run a chord progression for them, and let them shred over the chord progression.
Well, that'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah, I think he would. And we got Michael Krause here says, I can't afford to buy anything right now, so I ordered a pedal today.
Oops. Yeah. Oops. Did I do that? Right. Oh, dude, I did that with a guitar. Actually, with this guitar parts that I didn't necessarily need to order, but I ordered it way ahead of time. Probably 2 months ahead of time, because stuff comes in a matter of days when you order it now, especially if you do Jungle website. But for some reason I like to have it all ready and all planned out and all the pieces in the box and everything ready to go, and then I start doing the belly cut, and then I glue it up, and all those steps.
Love it. And Herb says, in the fight for the food, he typically won. He played dirty.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
played.
well, he's a younger one. He got scrappy, right? So he had to survive, is what it was. You had to survive coming up. So I get it. I get it.
That's right, Ben Coombs.
That Les Paul body that I showed you with the weird, with the two, with the little side wings of wood that are a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it looks after the belly carve and all, because you can certainly tell that it's two pieces of wood. They're well blended. The grain is
When
blended.
you sent the pictures of yesterday,
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm gonna tell you. Looking at that before the belly carve and after the belly carve,
Yeah.
you were getting really good at that.
Oh, thanks, man. I
Really
appreciate
good.
that.
I was impressed.
I did more with the
Oh,
chisel this time and less with the rasp. I did 90% with the chisel, which gets you. It also gets your wrists, because you're pushing that chisel. And then 10% with the rasp. It's still not done. And I ended up doing. You saw the outline that I did. So when I went in to carve it, I stayed within that parameter because I've had the experience where if I try to go to the exact line of the parameter, I'll go a little bit too far with the chisel or to split it out.
Always want to leave the line.
Yeah, give myself on the inside of that.
You can always sand down to the line.
Right. I can just make that transition right up to that line. And but yeah, that's one of my fun.
You can always take more off, but you can't put it back on.
You can't put it back on. Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
But no, kudos to that. That was some fine work.
I enjoy that the most. And that's it would take a piece of machinery, probably. How long do you think they do it? And with a machine that comes down and goes, or
take any time at all. Yeah.
Even a CNC probably can cut that out in the original carve. But it takes me about an hour to do it by hand, and I enjoy it. So I'm not even necessarily charging for it. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but that work you do by hand, people would rather, I think people would rather see it done by hand than it was CNC. It's more appreciated. Right.
Yeah, I think that that's another thing about the I'm enjoying about the wax and oil finishing, and that it'll have almost no lacquer except for over the headstock decal. That what you get is a little bit more of a different experience, a different guitar. You probably don't have one that's oil and wax and hand rubbed. And you probably, you know what I mean? There's some things that you might not have.
I don't have one, but I've been thinking about doing one. I think
you should totally do one. It's very satisfying. And the finishes last a long time. And here's the thing. You something kind of scratches a little bit, as long as it's not gouged in, wax just fills it right in.
Yeah.
You just fill it in and buff it back out again. So I haven't had a problem with durability. And they kind of, as they age authentically. They look like they should.
There you go. Well, we got Lynn Michael Thomas starting on June 1st, all music stores in the province of Quebec will use predominantly French labels. Some store owners are freaking out. Will be forced to close.
Yeah, I heard about that. So if it doesn't have a French label, if you want to sell something there, you have to label it in French as well. Right, so it has to say Stratocaster, and then it has to say it in French.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Keith, you've been watching some of your videos lately. Would love to have you on Chatting with Charles sometime. If you're interested, and anyone that's interested in coming on Chatting Charles, part of the community here, my email is down in the description for this show.
For the love of guitars, man.
The love of guitars. I love that name.
Well, guitars do.
Keith has got a lot of great instructional videos out there.
Well, that's cool.
The guy can play, but he's eating. But more importantly, he can teach. He easily relates things.
That's an important thing, because if you're teaching, like Desi Cerna can teach as well, but he sometimes can get quickly above where people are. You know what I mean? And so it does make you feel like you want to go and catch up and and learn a little bit. But anyway, the the love for the love of
For the love of
guitars. For the love of guitars, that's very cool because guitars are something that we obsess over. That's a good
We're
word
sitting
for it.
here talking about them every Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's an obsession. Like,
Yeah.
shit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behind me that I built. And that's an obsession because that's a lot of time and effort. And so some of these aren't even up for sale. Like this red one's not for sale. The yellow one's not for sale. Like some of them are just keepers. I'm just not doing it. Not getting rid of them. Steve Gunner. He's a big stunner. Sorry, he just dropped in the chat. I'm on the end.
I haven't seen him in the chat. I might be a little far behind.
That's fine. You're a little bit back there, but that's cool. I'm ahead of it. But
no, that's good. I love it. You're watching the chat.
I occasionally can read occasional things that come through there. I'm like, oh yeah, I hadn't seen that. It's very familiar to my.
Unfucking believable. It's made its way in. Hello there.
Yes, you did. Appreciate you. So the S on Steve Gunner's icon is very familiar because that's like mine on my teacher.
Oh yeah.
Espresso.
Michael Krause says, fun fact, Stratocaster in French is Stratocaster.
It's Stratocaster. Stratocaster.
Hello there, Steve Gunner. I'll say hello.
Yeah, buddy.
My co-host already did.
Stratocaster.
And Zach Thong says, guitars do it for a long time in the music store. When I was a kid, that was a music store I used to go to all time, and a music store I used to go to all time. And they had a beautiful Lavari acoustic. It sat in the store for a good 3 years.
Yep. Yeah. A good guitar can sit. You know what I mean?
Those French guitars maybe sit a little bit, is what he's saying, I guess. Huh?
As the French guitars miss it. Even good guitars sit. Expensive guitars sit. My buddy that runs Bananas at Large was telling me, he's the manager there, was telling me how, there's a lot of guitars. When you walk in that store, there's probably 250 guitars hanging. So there's a lot to choose from.
I love it. Michael certainly started something because we got everyone playing. Now Brian's playing with the pronunciations for Stratocaster. Oh
yeah. For the love of guitars, just check out Presley California Customs on Reverb and check out. Actually, most people should check out because you'll go there and you'll look. If you just search my name, you'll get up to 6 live listings. You really should search sold listings, and that'll take you through about 60 guitars or 50 something guitars that I've built that are out there in the market. So if you're looking at Presley's, that's what you should do. But thank you for taking a look.
There you go.
For the love. I appreciate you.
Herb and Ben have been going back and forth in the chat, and the latest is, in all honesty, Charles has become a good friend over the last 5 years, Herb. And so Herb wanted to know what I was saying about him in the chat because Ben said he was infamous.
Herb is awesome too.
We got a
need to do a hollow flash.
We got a new name in the chat here saying Turkey U.
Yo.
Turkey U.
What up, dude? Well, I'm going to be excited when that Squire comes from Brian. So I'm going to hook that thing up, probably put some new pickups in it, probably put a bone nut.
I didn't get a chance to watch. What was the which Squire was he giving away?
Hunk of shit Squire. It's the $70 one that has like a matte paint on it. Matte paint finish, but who knows? I've always been surprised and impressed by Squires in general because it's just simply the buying power that Fender and Squire have. They can buy stuff in such big bulk that it drives that price down for them. God, a Squire debut, thank you very much. It's for a little kid to start on, which is great because that's where it'll go. It'll go to our special ed class. And whatever kid shows the most actual real drive will get to use a real guitar. And I'll make it like perfect.
Okay, Dave, you got me confused here because Dave said I had a dude on Reverb make me an offer that was more than what he was asking for.
Oh, hey,
I get it. So Dave was looking at some guy's Reverb listing.
yeah.
Okay, and he offered something on it, and the guy must have counter offered more than what he was asking.
Or he was.
Originally
I
asked.
had a dude on Reverb make me an offer
Oh, there you
that
go.
was more
Proper
than he was asking for. I think maybe more than I was asking for is where we're mixed up there. But he or I, that's the thing about English, Charles. Thing about English.
Well, sometimes it helps when you don't let your dyslexia get in the way.
As I know, but it's a thing. It's like plurals and singulars and yep.
Okay, so Keith from For Love of Guitars is saying, I have a technical question. Do you use polyurethane for finishes? If so, sprayed on, how many coats, sanding in between?
You're the poly guy.
I'm the poly guy.
You're
All
poly.
right, so Keith, what I typically do is I will do 3 good coats with the poly that I use, and then I will wet sand that down, and then I'll do another 3 coats. Sometimes I get ambitious, and I'll do another 3 coats after that.
And then like it's so much sanding. He'll sand it up to 46,000 grit. It's kind of ridiculous. And I am trying to get known for, so the Strats and Tele styles you see behind me, those are all poly finished, but those are all bodies that I buy finished and then assemble and make the guitar meticulous, you know. But this one here is one of my true oil and then beeswax. So, well, the beeswax is only on the top, but it's a true oil finish and then rubbed and buffed, and then the top gets a beeswax glaze that gets 1500 gridded in to the top. And it comes out like, and it's a cool experience. It's a cool guitar. It's something that you don't have, and something that you only would see a lot, mainly on expensive acoustic guitars would mainly, and violins will have that finish. Very, like most violins have that kind of finish. Or higher end.
Davis cleared this up. Guy wanted $1,300 for a guitar. He made him a private offer that was $1,725.
Ooh, oh.
So maybe he was involved in some lifestyle choices.
Yeah, that might have been a type. Oh shit! I bet he accepted
real quick.
But hold on, I would think that it still wouldn't charge you more than, because it's just buy now.
No, it's not, because when you have that on Reverb, you have that make an offer button.
Make an offer.
Yeah. And so, not everybody uses it, but if you make an offer, you make that offer, you're committed to it. All the seller has to do is say, yep, accepted.
Right. Earl says, I bought a Squire Telly for $129 on a whim. After filing the fret sprouts and adjusting the setup, it plays great and quacks like a Telly. Great beater guitar to take to a bar fight jam. Exactly. Yep. So that's what I intend on doing. Probably rolling the edges of the board, getting rid of any sprout, doing the fret ends, maybe doing a level, although Fender's pretty good, right? Yeah. No, Seth, what, Dave? I say too many things too quickly and for people to disagree with. I'm like a rapid fire off the no, I don't know, Dave. Sorry, bud.
Michael Cross said that could be a scam. I'll overpay you and you return the difference to me. No, that doesn't work.
Oh, he says no about the you can't pay more. Then he's saying yes, you definitely can pay more by accident. Trust me, I'll clue you in on this. Okay, I had one night, Charles, that I had a really great night, and then it was a weird experience. The whole thing was a weird experience, but it ended up being fine.
Well, Dave didn't accept that offer. He was like, okay, something's going on here. So
yeah, right. Did not accept the offer for more than that's crazy. He did not accept the offer for more than so he just didn't want to sell it. That's just odd. That just seems fishy. Was it question? Was it a guitar that he had priced way lower and you were giving him closer to the actual price of the guitar? And like what guitar and what what's the guitar and what's the known value of the guitar? Is it a guitar that's worth $3,000 maybe, and he had it for 1 and he didn't, or he had it for the 13 and he didn't take the 17? I don't know. Seems a little fishy.
Well, the chats, they've been answering about, things that they've been looking at and what they've been buying. But is anyone out there that is looking to go on safari and look for something in particular? You on the hunt? What's going on? Hey, Mark Taft, welcome off.
I am on the hunt for something, I think. I want another half stack. So a half stack, right? So I'll have a full stack here. And maybe, just maybe, if I get a good deal on it, I might want like a big ass 100-watt Marshall head.
Chris is not looking because he just got that Explorer. But
oh yeah, all right. But I think having a stack.
I thought I remember him saying he was on the lookout for a backup for that Explorer, but that just might be me.
Right. Well,
yeah. Hip wants to buy. Who's going to buy the next Explorer for sure.
I might build an Explorer. I've been looking. There's a couple of good Explorer kits out there. There's one that is the one that I like has a notch in the back of the body, so it's not a straight.
Oh, there, Jeff K. Jeff K says the Gibson LP Classic comes to mind. He might be looking for one of those.
Nice.
I'm wrong, Chris. Okay, all right. I'm hearing stuff now. All right. All right, so you kind of froze there. So we're looking at your headstock and your P for your Presley logo.
The titanium nut.
All right, so now that's what you're going to try to get us to focus on. Okay, so this is that titanium nut you put in. So how much of a hump did you have to put in it to get by the truss rod?
Quarter inch. Okay. If I had the truss rod cover off, you'd be able to see it, but you can't really see it. But it's just a good looking piece of kit. It just looks good. Makes the headstock look good. And it sounds good. And then with the Geiger locking bridge on there.
Nice.
And then that flame on the belly carve.
Yeah, and this is the first belly carve you did, right?
No, this is the third or fourth. No, this is the fourth that I've done. So
well, Randy says he's on the lookout for an LP, but that sire has jumped to the forefront for now.
Yep.
Got Michael Krause.
Randy, let me know, dude. I'll give you a deal
ESP
on that.
Phoenix. He might not be a Firebird guy, but you
could probably do like 650 on an LP, I guess, Randy. Considering the situation where you're with your other Presley.
And Brian says, Randy Crooks, I just jumped on a Sire LP, P90s. Can't wait to hear it. So interesting.
P90s, those Sire. I think that Sire uses Seymour Duncan pickups. I could be wrong. The chat would know. I think the chat would know. There's a lot of chatters here that have Sires. So can you tell us, do they use Seymour Duncan pickups in Sire? I think they're standard in Sires, dude.
I'm not as versed in Sires as I am in some other stuff, but
no, I know. I mean, I just saw a lot of them at the guitar shop. We did a lot of setups on them. They were very popular and they were good.
And there are a lot of companies that do use Seymour Duncan pickups, so it makes sense.
Yeah. They're designing them with Larry Carlton. Huh.
And
so it's a proprietary pickup Oh, yeah, it's guitar. Oh yeah. For the love of guitars, if you do go look at my previous, I did a parlor style guitar that was semi hollow with P90s that I wax potted, and had to put on this riser thing inside the guitar to get them up where they really needed to be. The kit wouldn't have allowed them to be where they needed to be to sound great. Oh my God. When I got those things up under the strings where they needed to be and wax potted, whoo, so good. Had to sell that guitar because you got to sell them, right, Charles? That's why we build them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was the one that had the Presley nut on it. That one has a Presley nut. Yep. And it worked out great. That one was the best Presley nut that I've ever. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my.
The guy's got it. Yeah. It was just
Keith
slightly
said all
salty.
he needs is a guitar with P90s to complete his collection, and that's talking. And you were just
Totally. That's where. Yeah.
And Randy says, "Yep, they're designing with Lightning Carlton." And Michael Krause says, "Does a titanium nut require brass ball end strings?" Sorry about that.
Right. Totally. Yeah. It is just so it's a material that you can still work with. You can still shave it down. You can still sand it. You can still polish it out. So it's workable. It's just that the time that it takes, it's kind of like stainless steel frets, right? They just take more time to do the fret work and to do all the stuff there. And in that way, I think this nut is better because this thing will last for freaking forever. You should probably never have to take this nut out of this guitar ever. And if you did, it would be after many, many years, and you would just need to put a little shim under it, and then you'd be good to go for another 5 years or 10 years, whatever.
And apparently Bo is on the hunt for a new guitar because I made him laugh when I brought it up.
Oh, well, Bo, I already told you, man. You don't have one that is wax and oil and wax finish. You need to order it from Bananas at Large, because currently I don't have any I don't have any of my set necks up for sale.
I want to welcome in Martian Murray, fellow Texan. He says, "I'm late, but I'm here."
We're here. We're
glad you are, my friend.
Last 9 minutes. That's a good time. That's a good 9 minutes.
He might be getting the best 9 minutes of the show.
Might get the most quality of the whole deal. Everybody's like, I've been hanging out the whole time, just waiting for something to happen. Jeez, no. We've just kind of been talking about everything and nothing and the state of whether or not we're going to be buying stuff. This, I see a lot kind of available. I don't think like the tariffs made everybody panic and start hoarding their stuff. I look and I see a lot.
Drop the link for your site in the chat.
Do I want to do it?
Yeah.
For Reverb?
I believe so. He was asking if that one says
here's the link. The link is you just go to Reverb and in search you type Presley, California Customs, and I come up. It's crazy how I do. And it is kind of a little bit hurtful for my heart, Reverb, if you don't mind hearing this Reverb. When I type in, I make an ad, when it says, make your ad now, and it says, type in the brand name, and I type in, which there's like 50 or something more sales on Reverb now, but I type in Presley, California Customs, and it goes, bloop, bloop, bloop. Do not recognize this as a valid brand name. Are you sure you want to proceed? I'm like, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Reverb, for unvalidating me as a human. I do want to proceed. That is a goddamn name. That's why I typed it in.
I would just like to point out that Brother Ben did drop your link in Reverb in the chat.
What? How'd he do that? Ben and this digga, and he's had gummies too.
The digitals, yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed, Ben. I appreciate you, Ben. You are awesome, boss. Ben has a Presley. Ben does have a Presley that it went to and from Canada and had a fret pop up. He needs just a couple frets kissed, if I'm not wrong. Am I wrong, Ben? It's just kissed. Send me the neck and I'll do a full fret job on it.
You are here, and he is asking if Bo has an Explorer, and Bo does have an Explorer.
Bo's probably got a couple Explorers. I would think that Bo might have a Corina Epiphone. What? Oh, peace out, dude. Oh, yeah. Flip side.
Are you asking for a friend, Brian? Brian's saying, what's a credit score?
Dark Side Motorsports was the sponsor, Charles, when I was driving in my drift car. They
Keith
were
says we'll all be paying off loans on guitars for the next
30 years. Like a house. Yeah.
Probably so.
I know I proposed this idea before, and I'm going to propose it again in public because I think if somebody else takes the idea and it gets done, I just am going to be happy to see it created. But I'm a firm believer that somebody could create a guitar kind of warehouse storage thing that you have a bunch of badass vintage and new and cool guitars that are all around a $2,000 value. And then you and I, for I don't know what it would cost per year. We'd have to do the math, but $400 a year, let's say, $400 a year, and then every time we want to swap out, we can swap out. It costs us $100 to get one shipped out and ship the other one back. And you can choose from whatever's on the website, a catalog of a 50 or 100 badass guitars. But it's like a subscription-based guitar service. You're like renting a vintage guitar, but they got your credit card number. So if you don't send it back, or you just, you're out, they will charge you full price for it or whatever.
Well, Keith says, yep, at least a guitar model. And Zach says that he knows what he's doing this weekend, mostly playing guitar, but at least at some point he's going to put some new fishing line on his reels.
Ooh, oh man, Zach, come on! You probably reminded me. I should have new line but we keep them inside. We do keep them inside, but I don't have the little. They make these little cloth things, just like a sock that goes over your reel to cover all the line. And we weren't doing a lot of salt water, so we were mainly freshwater, so it shouldn't have deteriorated. But you're right. If I go out and I get something on and it breaks my line the first time, I'm going to be pissed because I'm a terrible angler. I'm like, my wife's way better than me when it comes to fishing. It's kind of embarrassing. It's like I don't go fishing with her and other friends that I might want to think I'm cool because like she's just whoosh, bam, she'll catch them like hella more than me and make me look bad. But that's okay because I don't mind her looking good. Makes me feel good when she looks good. Sometimes.
I love this search for Tom putting in the chat, reverse mortgage guitars.
AARP, yeah, to reverse your guitar collection.
Yeah.
That would be a cool idea though, I think, they do it with really, really nice oh yes. So I'm off for summer, but I'm teaching summer school, but I am gonna be doing some fishing after school because I can ride my bike. Oh, but I got a flat tire on my ride bike, Charles. Damn it.
Well, Ben says so. Seth is not the fishing musician.
I'm not the best. I mean, I love fishing, and I do.
Mark Tapp is the king of fishing. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you this. You know what I'm good at fishing though, Charles? The thing I am good about is fishing is I know the days when it's going to be good by the weather. Like I can tell, I know the days it's going to be good, but I'm just not good in the actual execution of fish on to end of reel. But like I know, oh shit, the weather. This is the wind. This is the time. Oh, the tide, whatever. And then I set Sarah up for success, is what it is. I'm just her fish caddy, as it were. She's good.
Don't laugh at the Rocco pocket fisherman because I had always wanted one of those when I was a kid. Never got one, and when I came here to Texas, I kept a collapsible pole.
Yeah,
truck at all times.
Well, I was having more fun for my little nephews. We got them the little ones that are just little button pachings. They're so quick and easy, and you're messing with stuff less time with that just to grab it and throw it out, and you're in the water.
Yeah,
which is funny. I've never caught anything big on one of those poles though, because they would probably just snap and be gone.
So, you're doing the summer school thing, and
summer school building guitars. I'm going to order some kits. I'm going to be doing some stainings. I'm going to do a red and black. I'm going to do a blue. Like a blue burst with the inside's going to be kind of almost like a beach, like a tan to blue, like a lighter blue theme. and a couple of things, maybe a green burst after that. So I'll do 3 or 4 guitars this summer, staining them and do all that fun stuff. But we'll talk more about that as we go. Like, we'll do a Guitar Safari update, project updates.
Yeah, we've got I should have a new video coming out next week on scraping the binding on Ed's Freedom Caster. We should be getting some clear on that one this weekend. And we'll be starting the sanding work, the heavy sanding work on the Charles Green Poison Telecaster. So.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, now everybody's going to head over to Guitar Talk Universe.
Right, Guitar Talk Universe. Go over to either Steve Brand or to Quentin James.
Oh, yeah,
GTU. Guitar Talk Universe for the next hour, and then they will be followed by Charles Green and What the Heck Mitch Heyman is going on here for a great show as well.
Dude, thank you for hanging out, Charles. It's been fun. Tonight's been a good night.
Thank you. We really enjoyed this show. This show just blew by. I looked up.
Right. Thank you, Ben, for sharing my link. And all that. I appreciate you. You're amazing.
Earl, we're having trouble locating a good Velvet Elvis that we can use for one. So if anyone's got a Velvet Elvis they want to donate for a project, I'm all in.
Totally. Yep. I appreciate you for the love of guitars. It is a cool hang because of these people that come by. We get a bunch of really cool folks that I appreciate that all know a lot about guitar and fun stuff. So that's what we're doing here. We'll see y'all next week. I should be back next week. I'm not on vacation or anything. So.
All right. Have a great weekend, folks. We'll see you in the chats. We'll see you Sunday as we talk with Greasy Monkey Guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, people, Charles and me, about to take you on Guitar Safari. So turn on your computer, turn on your phone. 'Cause it's about to go down, one volume, one tone. Yeah, Charles and me, we're about to take you on Guitar Safari. Turn on your computer and turn on your phone, 'cause it's about to go down.